He woke up covered in bruises and found a little girl sitting next to him. She took his hand and smiled at him, and like a ray of light, she shone into his life. They went to the river together to feed the ducks, and searched the garbage cans for food, though the days were as hard as ever. But with each other's company, they never felt lonely again. But when a passerby passes by, they still pretend to be strangers who don't know each other, because they know that the number 0 doesn't deserve friends, let alone love. But when love really comes, who can stop it? Although they have no money and no status, they have a romance that belongs to the two of them. Holding hands and watching the sunset, they had the best time of their lives together, until the day the law enforcement officers found them in love, because they violated the rule that 0 and 0 can't make friends. So the male number 0 was forcibly dragged away and locked up in a dark prison. He painted the whole wall full of misses, but the prison was still the same, and the misses were still the same, until one day, a dried flower suddenly fell on him. He recognized it at once as the one he had given her. He rushed to the window and looked out, and saw the person of his dreams. He greeted her happily. Instead, she opened her dress to convey to him their happy news. She was pregnant. It was theirs. He was so happy that he bowed his head. The cold prison made it impossible for him to be by her side. It was at this time that the big numbers found the pregnant number 0 again. They gathered around her, pointing and criticizing her. In the midst of their accusations, number 0 suddenly fell to the ground, listening to his wife's wailing. Number 0's eyes were filled with anxiety, but he could do nothing about it. The crowd around her grew bigger and bigger, covering her stomach in pain. She begged for help. Seeing this, the experienced nurse 6 approached her. Suddenly there was a baby's cry. He looked up and out. His baby had come into the world safely. The crowd was stunned. In the next second, they all raised their hands and saluted the newborn in front of them. It turns out that 2 zeros gave birth to an infinity. This was the biggest, most honorable number they had ever seen. Number 0 was so excited that he burst into tears. His prison life was finally coming to an end. From this moment on, their lives would change completely.